Hey guys, I'm here today with my Boxycharm Getaway Box unboxing. So this is the June box, and I am a Boxyluxe subscriber. So this month I did get the upgraded version. If you are unfamiliar with Boxycharm, what it is it's a monthly subscription where you get full-size beauty products, and it's $21 a month. And I've been a Boxycharm subscriber for a really long time. So when they offered the Boxyluxe version, I was really excited. What Boxyluxe is, it's a quarterly upgrade where you get additional products in your box. So you have the $21 a month regular Boxycharm, and then the Boxyluxe is an additional $28.99, I believe, for every quarter. So it'll just be every few months and you'll have that additional upgrade. I've really found that these boxes, whether you do Boxycharm or Boxyluxe, it's a great value. There's always at least one product in there that already is above and beyond the value of the box that I end up loving. And I personally love getting full sizes, and that is what you get with Boxycharm. I find that a lot of times if I have something that's a bunch of minis, they either get lost in my purse or wherever, especially if it's like foil packets and things like that. I just find that I don't use them. So I really enjoy getting the full sizes, and especially if it's skincare or something of that type, you have enough in that you can really decide if you like the product, because with skincare, you know, a 1 or 2 time trial doesn't really tell you much. So today we're going to be going through the box, and I'm actually using just about every single product in the box. And at the end of the day, I'll check in and let you know how I feel in the description bar below. If you'd like to see what was in this month's Boxyluxe, just keep watching. So we have a couple skincare items in the box this month, and that's really great because it's a great way to get to try out some new skincare. And the first one we have, I haven't tried out yet. This is the Dr. Brandt Clean Biotic Yogurt Cleanser. And so I feel like this is going to be something that's going to be great for drier, sensitive skin because it's going to have that more creamy consistency to it. Let me just see what it says. So it says it's powered by a biotic balancing complex. This prebiotic multitasking cleansing yogurt melts away grime, makeup, and excess oil for skin that's hydrated and never stripped. So that sounds perfect for me. I usually just use a really gentle, basic cleanser, something that's relatively inexpensive. I find that I prefer to put my funds towards serums and moisturizers, but just use a really basic cleanser. So this will be a little upgrade for me. This is valued at $35, and I will let you guys know how I feel about it. I think it's going to be probably something that I'll choose to use maybe coming up more towards the fall, but I'll definitely give it a go now to just see how it is. So our next item that's in here, I was so excited because it's one of my favorites. I already have one in my bathroom and purchased another one during the Sephora VIB sale. So this will be a backup to my backup. This is the Pharmacy Honeymoon Glow AHA Resurfacing Serum. So if you aren't really familiar with AHA and BHA, what those are chemical exfoliants. So you have your alpha hydroxy acids and your beta hydroxy acids. And I prefer to use a chemical exfoliant like an AHA or a BHA versus a physical exfoliant. So a physical exfoliant would be something with like granules or scrubbers, something that actually physically rubs off dead skin cells. I find that those are just a little bit too harsh for my skin, and it's also not great for acne prone skin to be using that as well. So I prefer to use a resurfacer that is more of a chemical exfoliant. And this is beautiful because I find that it actually is gentle and a little bit hydrating as well. And let me see what Pharmacy says here. So they say it's a 3-in-1 night serum that resurfaces, hydrates, and clarifies dull skin while you sleep. Formulated with a 14% AHA, BHA, and gentle flower acid blend, you'll get a youthful looking, smooth complexion as the look of pores, fine lines, and wrinkles are reduced. I find that with regular use, you really can see a brighter, more youthful complexion, and it does help eliminate some texture. So I find that sometimes, especially on this cheek, I get a little bit of texture, and I find that if I'm being more regular with my exfoliants, that tends to go away. So this is really great to put on at night before your moisturizer. And this, you guys, this alone is basically more than the value of the box. So, or the price of the box, because this is $58 regular price. So it's a great value in this box. I really find that Boxycharm is such an amazing value. Usually there's going to be 1 or 2 items in the box that's more than the value of the box, I'm sorry, the price of the box that I end up loving. So it's been a great box for me, and I am so excited to add that to my stash. So then the next one that we're going to use, I'm going to put on my skin right now. So we have the No Problem Prime Essence, and I believe that we got the No Problem Primer in one of our other Boxycharm boxes. So this essence I haven't used before, but it is valued at $23. And it says, let your makeup stay a while with your new Touch and Soul No Problem Prime Essence. Infused with Calendula officinalis flower extract. This primer tightens up your pores while keeping your skin silky smooth. So this must be a primer and pore tightener. So we're gonna go ahead and put this on. I only have, in the morning I use my vitamin C C Firma Day Serum from Drunk Elephant, and then I put on a little bit of this Pharmacy Honey Drop Lightweight Moisturizer. So that's all I have on my skin right now. And then we'll go through and use this No Problem. So it's in a little squeezy tube like this, which is going to be great. So it's a very clear, almost like watery serum, which probably means it's going to be good for any skin type, because I find that sometimes if things are too creamy, they can leave oily skin a little bit like too hydrated, or with like a little bit too much moisture on the surface. I guess there's really no such thing as too hydrated skin, right? So it feels good. It isn't, if you've used the No Problem primer, the one in the pump, this feels less slippy, like it doesn't have as much of a silicone feel. That other one is like very silky, and this one is a little bit, it almost has like a little tack to it. But I'll be honest, I don't feel a lot of like tightening or anything. Let me see, pull out a mirror here. Yeah, my skin looks good, and it definitely, I think, added a little bit of hydration, but I don't really notice anything in my pores. But I'll let you guys know after I put on some, I'll probably just use like a almost like tinted moisturizer today. So it feels really good, and this is the one I'll show you guys. So this is the No Problem primer from Touch and Soul that we received in another box. So this one definitely has more of that silky, like satiny feel to it, whereas this one is very lightweight with just a slight bit of tack to it. So I'll be interested to see how it is after I apply my makeup. So I am going to go ahead and probably just do my skin and my brows, and then at least just like some tinted moisturizer and brows, and we'll come back to talk about the rest of the products in the box. So two things. First of all, I just realized that I didn't have my mic clipped on for the last couple segments, so sorry if the audio is a little funky. I am in a pretty empty space right now. For those of you that don't know me, my boyfriend and I are combining households right now, so we're sort of in the throes of, you know, putting everything around, and I'm in a room that doesn't have a floor right now, so we're getting there slowly. But I did put my mic on to hopefully help with that echo, but it wasn't actually on me at the moment. So anyway, that was kind of a long ramble, but I wanted to get on before I put a little setting powder on to show you guys my skin after I applied some tinted moisturizer. So I just used the Bare Minerals Complexion Rescue Stick, and I really like that just because it has a great finish to it, but it really is fairly light coverage, and then a little bit of the Maybelline Fit Me concealer. And I really do think that it did help with pores. When I was younger, I had pretty bad acne, and so I had a lot of enlarged pores and scarring from that, and which is one of the reasons why I'm so like diligent with my exfoliation regime, because I find that that has helped me a lot over time. But I do have still some enlarged pores, especially like right here and a little bit on my forehead. So I do find that that smoothed that out a little bit. So I just wanted to give you guys a little peek at my skin. Like I said, it's just got that Complexion Rescue and a little Fit Me concealer around my under eyes. And I'm gonna go and powder just with a little bit of setting powder, and then maybe throw on a quick eye look, and then I'll be back to show you guys the rest of the products in the box. Okay, so we're back. Here is with the skin powdered. So you can see, I think that that primer still looks really great. I'll be excited to use it over the next few days to see how I like it, and how, especially if it helps my foundation stay on a little bit longer, because I usually do only use the tinted moisturizer, so the longevity of it isn't super long wearing, so it's always nice to have something that adds to that. So on to the next item. This is the Tarteist Pro Glow palette, and this is the 3rd edition of that palette. And I think as Boxyluxe subscribers, we were able to pick whether we wanted the face palette or the eye palette this month, which is nice because they do let you, with the Boxyluxe box, they have been allowing you some customization options, which is great. And I find that the Tarte palettes, as far as eyeshadows, the ones they've been doing a lot of, like the Rainforest palettes or the circular ones, and those are just really pretty unexciting and basic, or they're very close in shade. The last one that we got, I was a little bit disappointed in, so I was excited to be able to pick the face palette because it looks really beautiful. And so I haven't swatched it at all, but here is the palette. And so you have a matte and shimmery bronzer, then you have 2 highlight shades and 2 blushes. And it looks like both blushes are going to be more like satin finish, I would say, which actually satin to almost matte. I would say they look satin in the pan, but swatched yeah, I would say that they're almost more matte. So we'll see how those translate on the skin. Pretty light tones too. So if you have a skin type that's very deep, I don't think that those are going to work very well. But then we have the 2 highlight shades, which I'm excited. Oh, these look nice. So yeah, we have one that's a little bit more champagne-y, and then one that's more almost like rose goldy with a little bit of that sheen to it. Those are really pretty. And the bronzer shade. So let's get clean fingers here. And again, one of these is going to be matte, and one of them is going to have a sheen to it. So we're going to go ahead and go through, and I find that the sheeny one is actually more satin, so it's not too super glowy. So we're going to go ahead and apply those to the face, which is why I did go ahead and use a bit of a setting powder. I used the Hourglass Veil powder. That's really the only one that I like to use because it's so finely milled, and I'm not really a big powder girl as far as like setting. I don't bake. I barely just dust a little bit on because I try to keep my skin looking glowy and youthful, but I did want to have some longevity, and then this way we can really test the powders out to see if they skip at all. And if they do skip, it's not because the skin hasn't been set. So it should be a good, reliable way to see the quality of these powders. I'm going to go ahead and apply blush first. And there's a more warm tone pink and a cool tone pink. So I'm going to go for the more warm tone. These definitely are a bit more on the dusty side. So we'll go ahead and just add a little bit. Oh, they're a little bit more pigmented than they were in swatches, which is why it's so hard with, finger swatches don't really ever translate that well. They either make eyeshadows look amazing, they're actually disappointing, or face products sometimes don't come out quite as true as they are. So that actually is really pretty. I like that it's not too pigmented, because then if you have a bit of a heavier hand, you don't have to be quite as afraid when you go in. You can definitely build these up a bit. And I am all about the blush, especially for spring and summer. I just find that it adds a really nice flush to the cheeks. Yeah, so these ones, if you like a little bit more blush, you'll definitely have to build a little bit, but I find that that's just fine for my preferences. Yeah, that's really lovely. Okay, so then I'm going to go through with a little bit of bronzer, and I'm not really going to contour. I'm just going to go through and use a bit of I think we'll go through with the matte bronzer first, and then add a little bit with the kind of sheeny bronzer. I guess it's more like satin. Like, I really don't think it's going to be very like shiny, which is good. You don't want to be looking like tan robots. So I'm just adding a little bit of warmth. This is really pretty. I was a little bit concerned after the swatches because in the pan it looks a little warm, and sometimes when those go on the cheeks it can almost get like even warmer, like a little too orangey, but this is just like a natural warm. I really like that. Here. And I've gotten like 0 sun so far this year. Just haven't really had much time to like get out there. So we'll add a little bit to the neck and chest. So I think that's gonna look really nice. And then I'm just gonna take a little bit of the sheen on the same brush and going to just go on the tops of where I bronzed on the cheeks, just to add a little bit of the sheen to see how I like it. It's nice, but I feel like I would probably maybe go through and mix those two together, not just do the bronzer one, the like shimmery one over the top, because now I feel like it's almost a little too dark. If you can see, it almost was like too dark of a highlight. So that's all right, because we're just gonna put more highlight right over the top of it, so they'll all balance out in the end. But yeah, I would say probably I would mix those two together, just because that one is almost a little too dark for my skin. And I would consider myself more like medium skin, so that's kind of interesting. All right, so I'm gonna go through with the more rosy of the two highlights, and I'm not gonna use a lot of this, just enough to give a little glow on the face. Get this hair out of the way, because I feel like we're already, especially from the bronzer, we're already looking a little glowy. I always just like dust over the brow bone. Looks nice. It's definitely more of like a sheen. There isn't glitter in here, which is definitely appreciated. I don't really like glitter in my highlights. So that's a really pretty glow. And then I'm just going to use a little bit with my finger on the Cupid's bow. And I don't ever highlight the bridge of my nose because my nose gets so like glowy on its own by the middle of the day. So we're going to skip that, but we're going to go through and use the highlight shade on our inner corners. And this is just a dry brush, just using a little eyeliner brush. Like that. And then we'll just pop a little onto the center of the lid. I obviously already had a bit of a glowy shadow on there, but this will just give it an additional pop. Okay, I like it. I think I'm really gonna like this palette. I think it'll be interesting to play with a little bit more. The blushes I thought were going to be the thing that I enjoyed the least after swatching them, but I think that they're gonna be really pretty. I was very pleased with that matte bronzer. The shimmery bronzer is the one I'm gonna have to play with a little bit more because it is a little dark. I think by mixing the shimmery bronzer in with the matte, it'll be a little bit more skin friendly for me. But this is gonna be a great one to get to play with, and it's so nice for travel because you really could have your whole face look just from this. So that's really nice. And this Tarte Pro Glow Cheek Palette is $45 value. So that's great. And it really has a nice sturdy feel to it. So it will definitely be one that I would consider traveling with. So we have our next item in the box, and I'm gonna use this to set my face. This is the Skin & Co. Radiant Dew Mist. So reading on the card from Boxycharm, this is enriched with antioxidant-rich, soothing, and detoxifying botanicals such as black winter truffle, rosemary, ginger, peppermint, and Damascena rose. Seriously, you guys, any type of plant I'm always gonna kill because I can't, like, I don't garden, barely know. I'm surprised that I can pronounce rose correctly. So Damascena rose, we'll go with that. This refreshing mist encourages a radiant complexion while rebalancing skin's pH level, tightening pores, and setting makeup. So it looks like you can use this to refresh throughout the day. You could use it as a prep in the morning, but you can also use it after makeup. So it's very milky. It's not like a clear, and it even looks a little like thicker in the bottle. So I'll be interested to see how well this mists onto the face. So we'll just pull all this hair back. Okay, so it's definitely not the finest mist in the world. It comes out pretty like spray bottle-y. It's not the worst, but it's definitely not as fine as some of the ones that I like to use. But it's not too bad. Here we go. This boxy card is coming in handy. It definitely, I would say, added a nice little glow to my skin and just set all of those powders into place. It has a very strong peppermint scent. Like, you're mostly gonna smell the peppermint. So if you don't like peppermint, you're probably not going to enjoy this mist, but I like it. It has already dried down. It's not tacky at all. So let me just look again, because I'm just a little scared with that mist because it was pretty heavy, but it looks pretty good. So it's not too crazy. Yeah, I like it. I'm definitely gonna use it. I think it'll be great in the summer when you need that like cooling pepperminty feel. So this next product I'm really gonna be curious about. This is the Trestique Good Vibes Mascara. So this says treat your lashes to the ultimate curling, lengthening, and volumizing fun with your new Trestique Good Vibes Mascara. This all-in-one lash curler tool and lash enhancing mascara gives you everything you need to take your lashes to the next level. It's the first of its kind. And this is valued at $25. By the way, that Radiant Dew Mist is valued at $35. So we'll crack this guy open. So this has a lash curler on the wand, but can you guys see that? Like, so am I supposed to fit my entire, okay, how, like this way? Am I supposed to fit all of my lashes in there? I've seen half lash curlers before, but usually they don't have something on the sides. So this is going to be interesting to try. Okay, wish me luck. You guys can see, I like that wand. It's a more natural bristled wand, and it's almost like skinnier in the middle and fatter to the side. So we'll see. Just has like basic mascara scent. So we're gonna give it a go. I do usually curl my lashes every day, so I don't know how this is gonna go. Oh my gosh. Okay. I mean, if this works, it could be, if this works, it could be really good for travel, I guess, if you didn't want to also bring your mascara, or I'm sorry, your lash curler along. But with how big this whole contraption is, I feel like this is a mascara and a lash curler the size of it anyway. So I'm not sure about this. Yeah, you guys, I don't know. I mean, if you really pack really lightly, maybe this would be worth it, but it did curl. It did curl my lashes, but I don't know. So I'm glad that this wand isn't too big. I've gotten a few mascaras lately where the wand is just like ginormous, and I don't like that because I feel like it's really hard to get into your little inner corner and outer corner lashes, and then I always end up like putting mascara onto my eyelid. It just never fails if it's a really big wand. And especially if you like to put mascara on your bottom lashes, it's really hard when you're working with a formula that, or with a brush that's like too big. So off the bat, I think I like this formula. It's not too wet and not too dry. I know a lot of us like a little bit, I prefer something that's not too dry, but I know a lot of people like to crack open their mascara and like let it sit for a week before they really enjoy using it. It needs to dry out a little bit, but this one isn't too wet in my opinion. So we have one coat going right now. And I do have fairly long lashes to start with. I do use a lash serum. So my lashes are fairly long, but they aren't incredibly thick. And I have been using, obviously I didn't use it with this mascara, but I have been using a mascara primer that I've really been enjoying. If you guys want to know a little bit more about some of my favorite mascaras, let me know, and primers. I've been testing a few out lately. I feel like mascara is one of those things that we have our tried and true, we love it, and then, but it's also the one that we keep trying many other things because we're always looking for like the mascara that's gonna give us like the most amazing lashes of all time. So that's one coat of the mascara. See if you guys can see. I would say it's an average formula. A little bit lengthening and a little bit thickening, but it doesn't do a crazy ton of either. We'll do one more coat. I remember watching, I think it was maybe Charlotte Tilbury. I don't know if she was doing an interview with Wayne Goss, but it was for sure Charlotte Tilbury, and they were talking about mascara and how no one applies enough, that you really need like, I think Charlotte said like 8 coats or 10 coats or something like that. And I don't know what a coat is considered, if it's like, you know, you run the comb through once and that's considered a coat, but I can't imagine wearing like 8 coats of mascara. I usually do 2 with a lash primer. Otherwise I'd feel like it'd look a little crazy. And I'm gonna wear this for the rest of the day. I'll let you guys know how I feel. I usually don't have a problem. I don't wear waterproof mascara because I hate how hard it is to get off, but I don't really have a problem with like smudging of mascara. The only ones that I've had a problem with is recently I tried the Lancome Monsieur Big mascara, and that one smudges on me every single time. And I'm really bummed because I heard so many good things, and it's obviously not a cheap mascara. So that was kind of a bummer, but can't win them all. So you guys can see, this actually is a pretty nice mascara. I think it gave some nice definition. So the curler is neither here nor there. It obviously took me longer to curl my lashes with this Dealy Bopper than it would with a regular curler. And I'm okay with having to grab for another item, but like I said, maybe you want to travel. So our next product is the Dominique Cosmetics Lemonade Lip Gloss. And so this sheer gloss is long lasting and flexible, so you can wear it alone or layered over your favorite lipstick. So I'm excited to try this. I got the shade Peach Tea, and these lip glosses are $17. Cute packaging. I like this shade. It's kind of a like peachy pink. I'm always a little worried though with like creamier colored lip glosses, because I find that especially if you have a little bit of dryness on your lips, that really will show, but also all of a sudden halfway through the day you get that like white ring on the inside. So we'll see if that happens with this. I do have a little bit of lip balm on. I'm going to put this gloss on as is, just so you guys can see the color of it, but if it were me, I would probably put a little bit of lip liner on first, just for a little extra pigment. But I also like my upper lip line just sort of fades into oblivion, so I like to have a little bit more definition. So I'll show you guys without a lip liner, and then I will show you with a lip liner as well. Oh, so this smells like birthday cake. So if you like that. So it's not too pigmented to where it's going to give me that like weird goopy creamy lip. You guys can see that. I like it. I will be interested to see how this goes if it gives me that weird line. So what I'll do is at the end of the day, because I obviously will have to edit this video and before I pop it up. So I'll just type in the description box how I felt about everything at the end of the day so you guys can see that. So let's get a lip liner and I'll just add a little lip liner. All right, so I'm gonna take the MAC Boldly Bare lip pencil. And I would have added this first beforehand, but I wanted you guys to see the true tone of the gloss. And this actually matches really pretty well. But then that way I get a little bit more like definition to my lips. So the gloss feels great. It's not cooling or tingly feeling. So whether you love that or hate that, now you know about that. And it's not sticky at all. It just feels really hydrating. But I do have a feeling because it's not sticky, it's one that you're going to have to reapply often. So just keeping that in mind. Okay, so there's one more product in our box this month, and that's the Living Proof Full Dry Volume Blast Hairspray. So let me read a little bit about this. So it says, this styling spray creates instant volume and texture that's almost as light as air for big, lasting results on dry hair. It offers UV protection, is silicone-free, and safe for color and chemically treated hair. And it's valued at $29. So I will give this a little go in my hair. Before we go, I just have to say I'm not a huge like hairspray person. I like the hairsprays that don't really feel like hairspray. So we'll see if this is one of those or if it's one that I'll be passing along. Woo. So it definitely has a blasting feel. Yeah, it has a good amount of hold to it. It smells good. I'm just gonna spritz a little in at my roots. I would say this is a good, like, medium brushable hold. For those of you that don't know me, I am a professional hairdresser, and so I'm a little picky when it comes to my hair products. But this actually isn't too bad. It's still brushable. I can't stand hairsprays that you can't run your fingers through. Just as someone with long hair, I want to still be able to run my fingers through my hair. So if you are a person that likes something that gets like super stiff and your hair won't move, I don't think this is the one for you. Yeah, this is okay. It smells nice. I'll have to play around with it a little bit more, but I like the smell of it, and it's somewhere in the middle. It's not as lightweight as I would usually prefer, but it seems to be okay. So this would probably be one that I would actually spray in my hair before doing a little up style, whether it's like a ponytail with some volume or something like that. So that is the last item in our box this month. Sorry guys, I realized I forgot about one of the products in the box because when I unboxed it, I already took this out. In all honesty, I'm not really interested in it, but my boyfriend said that he would use it. So this is the PYT Travel Hair Dryer. And one thing that I will say, I think it's cool that a travel dryer could come with a diffuser and a concentrator. It's a like silicone feel blow dryer. It's got this lavender color to it. And in all honesty, for those of you, like I said before, I am a professional hairdresser, and so I have pretty specific blow dryer likes, and this little guy just wasn't something that interested me. But my boyfriend does like to blow dry his hair from time to time, and he said that he'd like to have this in his little grooming section so he doesn't have to fight with all the cords from all of my tools. So this blow dryer, in all honesty, it says that it's a retail value of $85, which I can't believe anybody would pay $85 for a little mini blow dryer like this, but maybe they would. But anyway, that's also in the box this month. So I just wanted to throw this little clip in here because I realized that I forgot that for you guys. So again, this is the PYT dryer. I hope you enjoyed playing with my Boxyluxe box with me today. I really enjoyed this subscription. Whether you choose to just do the Boxycharm itself or you want to upgrade for that quarterly Boxyluxe edition, I think it's a lot of fun. Like I said, there's always at least one product in there that is the value of the box that I always find worth the investment each month. And I find that it's a great way to try some new things. I personally love getting the full-size products, and I've always enjoyed this. I haven't really found a lot of people reviewing the Boxyluxe version of the box here on YouTube, so I hope you found it helpful. Please consider subscribing and like this video if you did enjoy it, and I will see you guys soon. Thanks.